everybody, and thanks for tuning in for Core Yoga today. I'm with UMBC Recreation, and my name is Erica. If you have never taken this class before or you're new to yoga, that is okay. I won't just call out poses and expect you to know where we're going. I do build up a pose, talk about alignment, especially the first couple times we visit a pose, if we will be revisiting it again later. And then, just like any other exercise class, we start with the slow warm-up. We start to build heat in the body. We target the areas of the body we're going to use later in the class. We pick up some speed. We're really working the core, picking up our heart rate, and then we slow down with the cool down, ending in a final rest period where we lay on our back still for about 2 to 3 minutes. And the point of that is to not only absorb all the benefits and from all the movement we put into our bodies from this class, but to also have a time for self-reflection, because yoga is not just about what goes on outside, it's about what goes on the inside as well. I want to remind everyone to always listen to your body. This class can be a little challenging. You can take breaks whenever you need. You don't have to wait for me to cue them. Listen to your body, so practice in ways that is safe for you, and always check with your doctor before you start a new exercise regimen. So we're going to get started. In a nice, comfortable seated position, you're going to be facing the front of your mat. And any comfortable seated position, so whatever that means for you. For me, that's crossed legs, but legs could be off to the side. You can have a loose diamond shape. However you can sit comfortably with your sits bones grounded to the floor and be able to find some length through the spine. And gently tilt your head down so you can gaze at the floor. And we'll start here. Try not to look around. Keep your gaze focused on one spot and bring your attention to your breath. And start to deepen the breath so you can really feel the rise and the fall of the chest. Breath is a life force. We're breathing that life force in. Nice deep breaths. Return to your normal breathing pattern and lift your chin from your chest. Let your head fall over to right shoulder, and we'll hold for a few moments here. Starting with relieving stiffness in the neck. Lift your head through center and let head fall over to left shoulder. Head comes up through center. Chin drops to chest. Head lifts through center, and chin tilts up towards the ceiling. Bring head back through center, and one more time. Head over to the right. So I forgot to mention at the beginning of class, you're more than welcome to put on a playlist if you have one, if you like to listen to music. Definitely makes things a little more entertaining. Lift head through center, and then head falls over to opposite side. Up through center, chin to chest. Drop shoulders down the back. And then tilt chin up towards the ceiling. Then lower your head into a neutral position. Bring both arms overhead, find length through the sides of the body, draw belly button in towards the spine, draw the ribs in. Square shoulders away from ears, gaze is slightly up towards the ceiling. Take some deep breaths into the chest. Starting to stretch the core, working our arms a bit. Now bring hands together and lower them down to heart center. Bring your arms out at your sides, back up overhead, gaze is up to the ceiling. Find the length through the sides of the body and tuck the lower ribs in. If you want a little more sensation for your shoulders, try interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms firmly together. Arms are still reaching tall towards the ceilings, the fingers are interlaced. Hands come together and down through heart center. One more time. Inhale as arms come up, take a few breaths here. Draw those bellies towards the spine. And as you exhale, hands come together, down through heart center and down at your sides, fingertips to floor. Spinal twist to the right. Left hand's in front, right hand is directly behind you. You're gazing out towards the back of your mat. Spine stays long towards the ceiling and belly still engaged. Take a nice deep breath in for me, and as you exhale out through the mouth, we'll unwind and return to center. Spinal twisting to the left, right hand directly in front, gazing to the back of the mat. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale out through the mouth, unwind and return to center, bringing hands at your sides. Or if you're in a seated position like me, hands can come to the knees. Round the spine, drop chin to chest. And slowly lift and arch the spine as head tilts up to the ceiling. Now working with the spine here. Rounding again, dropping chin to chest. Lifting and arching, head lifts. Use your exhale out through the mouth to round the spine once again. Draw the breath in through your nose as you lift and arch. A few more times, using the breath. Exhale to round. Inhale to lift. Keep it up. And finish with an exhale. Then return to a neutral spine. Come into a tabletop position on the hands and the knees. Wrists stacked under shoulders, knees stacked under the hips. Extend your right arm forward, thumb face up to ceiling, arm is framing the ear. Asking the top of our core to work here, then lower hand down to the mat. Left arm extends, thumb up to ceiling, framing the ear. And release. Again, right arm lifts, 2, 3, 4, and lowers. Left arm lifts, 2, 3, 4, and lower. Take the right hand and we're going to flip it so the top of the hand comes to the mat, and then flip it back, palm to mat. Do this a few times at your own pace, just loosening up the wrist a bit. We do take a few planks in this class. And then make a fist with that same hand and just give me some wrist circles. Go both directions. Plant that hand back to the mat, and same thing with the left. So we're going to flip the hand back and forth a few times. Then make a fist and give me some circles, making sure to go both directions. And plant hand to the floor. Now bring attention to your hands and see where you're pressing the most weight. Most of us are pressing just into the base of the palm. So I want you to distribute that weight, pressing out through the thumb and pointer finger, out to the pads of the finger, and shift some of that weight to the top of the palm as well. Extend your right leg behind you, pointing through the toes, heel in line with hip. Then bend the knee so toes are up towards the ceiling. Now engaging the core, using your core and the strength of the low back, we're going to gently kick this foot up towards the ceiling. So don't just kick it up there using your glute or your leg. Engage your core and low back to find the lift. It might not lift very far, that's okay. Then we'll extend it again, heel in line with hip. Lift up to the tips of the fingers and give me a tabletop crunch. So knee draws into the chest, round the spine, draw the belly in. Then we'll extend the leg behind us again. Stay up on the tips of the fingers for now. Bend the knee, toes up to ceiling. Engage the core, kick the foot up. Extend the leg behind you. Give me a crunch, knee to chest around the spine. One more time, leg extends. Knee bends. Give me a kick. Extend. Crunch, knee to chest. This time we'll step or place the foot into lunge. Ankle right below the knee, foot in between the hands. Draw the breath in through the nose as you slowly lift both arms overhead. We'll pause and exhale here. Right knee stays stacked over the ankle. Top of the left foot is on the mat. Find length through the sides of the body, out through crown of head, shoulders relax away from ears. On your exhale, fingertips return to the mat. Lift just the right arm up to the ceiling, twisting the belly, gaze up, and we'll lower hand to mat. Step back into tabletop, still in the tips of our fingers. Left leg extends, heel in line with hip. Bend the knee, engage your core, gentle kick, extend the leg, and tabletop crunch. Knee to chest, around the spine, lift that knee as high as you can, pull belly in, and extend leg. Bend the knee, gentle kick, extend, tabletop crunch, knee to chest, around the spine, belly in, and extend. Last time, bend the knee, give me a kick, extend the leg, knee to chest, and step or place the foot into lunge. Draw the breath in through the nose, lifting both arms overhead. We'll pause and exhale here. Nice deep breaths. Next, exhale, fingertips return to the floor. As you draw the breath in, left arm lifts to the ceiling, twisting the belly, gaze up. Exhale out through the mouth, lowering fingertips down to the floor, and step back into a tabletop position, planting hands flat to mat. Lower the elbows to mat into puppy pose, elbows stacked under shoulders, palms face down to mat, and head relaxes. This pose here is option 1 for your rest position anytime throughout the class. As I said at the start, you do not have to wait for me to cue any rest. We're lengthening the spine in this rest position. Option 2 is to find child's pose, so hips come all the way down to the heels, knees are separate, and forehead rest on the mat. So try them both out if you're new. Take a few breaths, see which one feels better in your body. And then just pick one for your rest position. We're going to finish our warm-up here. So deepen your breath and appreciate these few moments of stillness we have before we amp things up. Nice deep breaths. Slowly meet me in a tabletop position, lifting up to the tips of the fingers. Extend your left leg behind you, pointing through the toes. Give me a tabletop crunch, knee to chest, round the spine, draw belly in, step or place the foot into lunge. Right toes tuck onto the mat, lift up to just pointer and middle finger. Right knee lifts into the air as we send chest forward, drawing belly in. Step up to half lift, so feet are hips width distance apart, hands to shins, back is flat, shoulders draw away from ears, gaze is down to the floor. Lower to forward fold so we hinge from the hips, bending the knee so belly can touch the thighs. Let arms and head reach for the floor. Take a few breaths here. Hips stay actively reaching towards the ceiling to keep legs engaged. Low belly draws in. Knees are bent enough so that you can feel belly on thighs. One vertebrae at a time, we'll slowly round our spines into a standing position. Let your chin come up from the chest, very last. Once you make it all the way to standing, give me a deep breath in through the nose, lifting arms out of your sides, up overhead, gaze up. Then exhale out through the mouth, slowly lowering arms down by your sides. So before we move into the bulk of our practice, I'm going to demo our plank sequence for the week. Every week there is a new sequence that targets our core, and we're going to tie it into our practice. So I'm going to demo this first time through, and then we'll tie it in together. So I always give a countdown before we start, saying plank work will start in 3, 2, 1, or something along those lines so you know that it's coming up. Remember what we talked about distributing the weight in the hands. We're going to step into a traditional plank position, heel in line with hips in line with shoulders, total body is engaged, thighs, shoulders, belly, all. So I'll give us that countdown, and today we're going to start with our arms. So extending one arm forward, framing the ear, arm, opposite arm lifts. Then we're going to move to the leg. So I'll say leg, we'll lift the foot a few inches off the mat, and leg, switching to the opposite foot a few inches off the mat. So in real time, I'll say 3, 2, 1, arm, arm, leg, and leg. Arm, arm, leg, and leg. We're gonna do about 2 to 3. I truly haven't made my mind up yet. We'll see how we feel in it. And then after that, we'll drop down to a forearm plank. So elbows are on the mat. That's the only difference from plank. We'll hold for 5 seconds and then move on with the practice from there. So it might be a little bumpy the first time through, but we'll get the hang of it. And remember, you can always take breaks if need be. So let's all start at the top of our mat with feet hips width distance apart. Stand nice and tall with purpose at the top of your mat, extending out through the crown of your head, shoulders relaxed down the back. Slowly lift both arms overhead, gazing up to the ceiling. Then lower to forward fold, bringing hands together, lowering them down through heart center, hinging forward at the hips, bending knees so belly touches thighs, arms and head hang. Rise, half lift, flattening the back, hands to shins. Step back into a plank position. Bend the knees so you can step back, and we'll start our first sequence in 3, 2, 1. Arm, arm, leg, and leg. Arm, arm, leg, and leg. I think we've got 3. Keep it going. Leg and leg. Meet me in forearm plank, and we'll hold for 5. If wrists start to get sensitive, you can take planks on your fist, lower to the mat. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, elbows face up to ceiling. Lift the chest to baby cobra, still using the strength of our core and our low back to find a lift in the chest, and shoulders reach behind the heart. Then we'll press to our rest position. So that's puppy pose, elbows to mat, or child's, hips all the way down to the heels. Take a few deep breaths here. At least for the first few minutes of class, our rest periods are going to get a little shorter each time. Slowly meet me back in a tabletop position and lift up to the tips of the fingers. Extend right leg behind you, point through those toes, give me tabletop crunch, knee to chest, round the spine. Exhale as you crunch, then step the foot into lunge. Left toes tuck onto the mat, lift up to pointer and middle finger, and lift left knee in the air as we send chest forward. Step up to half lift, feet hips width distance apart, back is flat, hands to shins. Lower to folds, belly meets the thighs, arms and head hang. And one vertebrae at a time, we'll round our spines to a standing position. Same thing through, slowly lift both arms overhead, gaze up to the ceiling. And meet me back in forward fold, hands come together, belly meets the thighs, arms hang. Rise, half lift, flatten your back, and step into your plank position. We'll start our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Arm, arm, leg, leg. Arm, arm, leg, leg. Last time. Lift the legs and meet me in forearm plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Tops of feet to mat, hands under shoulders. Lift the chest to baby cobra, shoulders behind the heart, engaging the core. Then press to your chosen rest position, whether that's puppy or child's. Deepen your breath, a little shorter of a rest this time. Meet me back in a tabletop position and lift up to the tips of your fingers. Extend left leg behind you, point through the toes. Give me a crunch, knee to chest, step or place the foot into lunge. Right toes tuck onto the mat. Lift that knee in the air, sending chest forward. Step up to half lift. Back is flat. Lower to forward folds, belly meets the thighs, and slowly rise to a standing position. One last time through. Inhale as you lift the arms overhead, and slow exhale as you lower to forward fold, belly to thighs. Inhale as you rise, half lift. Exhale as you step back into a plank position and breathe normally here, starting our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Lift, lift, leg, leg. Arm, arm, leg, leg. Last time, keep it up. Lift the legs and forearm plank for 5. If you want to amp up your forearm planks, keep with the lifts with the legs. Legs lifting up. We're holding here and we release down to mat. Hands under shoulders. Draw the breath in as you lift to baby cobra and exhale to your rest position. As soon as you make it to your rest position, inhale and meet me back in tabletop, lifting up to the tips of the fingers. Right leg extends, point through the toes. Give me a crunch, knee to chest. Step or place the foot into lunge. We'll step up to half lift. Knee lifts off the mat, hands to shins. Lower to fold, belly meets the thighs. And slowly rise to a standing position. Bring both arms back overhead and pause for a moment here. Deepen the breath. In through nose, out through mouth. On your next exhale, settle into chair pose. Bending the knees, sitting the hips back like we're sitting in an imaginary chair. Tailbone rounds under, it does not poke out to the ceiling. Arms stay lifted, chest stays lifted. We're gazing up, and then we lower to forward folds. Belly meets the thighs. Rise, half lift. Step into your plank position, and lower the knees to tabletop. I had to do chair again because I know how much you guys liked it last class. Lift up to the tips of your fingers. Extend your left leg behind you, point through the toes. Exhale to tabletop crunch, knee to chest. Inhale to extend. We're going for 3. Exhale to crunch, draw the belly in. Inhale to extend. Exhale to crunch, knee to chest. Hold this one here, don't hold the breath. See if you can lift the knee a little higher, then step or place the foot into lunge. Right toes tuck onto the mat, we'll lift the knee in the air. Bring our hands to our forward thighs, start to lift the chest into high lunge, and extend both arms overhead. Left knee is stacked right over the ankle, and we're on the ball of the right foot. Take a few deep breaths into your chest for me here. Open to 5-pointed star, facing the right side of your mat. Feet are facing forward, arms at shoulder height. Turn the left foot forward to face the front of the mat and bend the knee again, stacking it over the ankle. Lower into side angle, so elbow comes down to thigh and right arm frames the ear as we twist and lift the belly up towards the ceiling. Core is engaged, drawing back towards the spine. Holding and breathing here. Try not to press all of your weight into your thigh. Keep a little bit of lift using the strength of your core. Then we'll rise back to standing. Turn the left foot forward, arms at shoulder height. Reach to the back of your mat and find a side bend, bringing left arm up to ceiling. Gaze is up to ceiling into modified triangle. Core is engaged. We'll inhale as we rise, standing. Exhale as we reach towards the front of the mat and find a side bend. Right arm up. Hand that's closest to the leg, try not to use that to prop yourself up. Again, use your core instead. We'll rise back to standing and bring our hands to our hips. Hinge forward at the hips, bringing fingertips down to the floor, bending the knees if you need to make that happen. And walk into lunge. So left foot turns forward, hands frame the forward foot, right heel lifts off the mat. Step back into your plank position, and we'll start our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Arm, arm, leg, leg. Arm, arm, leg, leg. Last time, keep it going. And meet me in forearm plank for 5. Remember, you can keep up with those lifts if you're looking for something a little extra. And meet me all the way on belly, hands under shoulders. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale to your chosen rest position. We will take a few rounds of breath here. Just bring attention to your body. Notice the rate of your heart. and speed of your breath. Slowly meet me back in a tabletop position and lift up to the tips of the fingers. Extend your left leg behind you, point through the toes, give me a crunch, knee to chest, and step the foot into lunge. Inhale as you step up to half lift. Exhale as you lower to fold, belly to thighs. See if you can draw your inhale out as you slowly rise to standing, although it's okay if you can't. And then exhale at the top. Inhale, both arms back overhead, gaze is up. Pause for a moment here. As we exhale, we'll settle into chair pose, sending the hips back, rounding tailbone under, strengthening our legs, strengthening our core. Gaze is up, arms are up. Don't hold the breath. Then lower to forward fold, belly meets the thighs. Inhale as you rise, half lift, flatten back. Exhale as you step back into plank and lower the knees to tabletop. Lift up to the tips of the fingers and extend right leg behind you, point through the toes. Exhale to give me a crunch, knee to chest. Inhale to extend. Exhale to crunch, draw that belly up. Inhale to extend. Exhale to crunch, last time, holding here, don't hold the breath. See if you can lift that knee a tiny bit higher and step into lunge. Lift the left knee off the mat, bring hands to forward thigh and extend the arms overhead into high lunge. This time, right knee is stacked right over the ankle. We're on the ball of the left foot. Few deep breaths into the chest. Open a 5-pointed star facing the left side of your mat. Turn your feet forward and lower your arms to shoulder height. Right foot turns to face the front of the mat, and we bend the knee, stacking it right over the ankle, and lower to side angle. Elbow comes down, left arm frames the ear, twist and lift the belly and chest up towards the ceiling. Take a few breaths here. Try to refrain from pressing all your weight into your thigh and elbow. See if you can find a lift with the core. As you inhale, rise back to standing, straighten the leg, and turn the feet forward. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, reach to the back of the mat, find your side bend. Inhale as you rise to standing. Exhale as you reach to the front of the mat, find your side bend. Inhale, rise to standing and bring hands to hips. Hinge forward from the hips, bringing fingertips to floor. Right foot turns forward as we walk into lunge, lifting up on the heel of the left foot and stepping back into a plank position. And we'll start our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Arm, arm, leg, leg. Arm, arm, leg, leg. Arm, arm, leg, and leg. Meet me in forearm plank. And we're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Big inhale to lift to baby cobra and exhale to your rest position. Taking a few rounds of breath here. Slowly meet me back in a tabletop position, lifting up to the tips of the fingers. Extend your right leg behind you, point through the toes. Give me a crunch, knee to chest around the spine. Step into lunge. Inhale as you step up to half lift, hands to shins. Exhale as you lower to forward fold. And try to draw the inhale out as you slowly rise to standing letting chin come up last. Take both hands to your heart, stacked on top of one another, lower chin to chest. And take a few moments to yourself here, relaxing shoulders away from ears, just focusing on your breath and the rate of your heart. Lower arms down by your sides and lift chin from chest. Give me a deep breath in through the nose, lifting arms out at your sides, up overhead. And as you exhale, we'll lower to forward fold. Nice and slow, belly meets the thighs. Inhale as we slowly rise back to standing, and exhale at the top. If you're a little slower or faster, that's okay. We'll inhale and lift both arms back overhead. We'll exhale back to forward fold. Slow exhale, out through the mouth, belly to thighs. Inhaling, rise to half lift. Exhale as you step back into plank. This is our last sequence in 3, 2, 1. Lift, lift, leg, and leg. Arm lifts, lift, leg, and leg. Last time. And forearm plank. Last plank we hold for 15 seconds. If you're totally tired, you're more than welcome to lower down now. Otherwise, we're still holding here. We've got another 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Let everything go. Turn your head to one side so you can rest on your cheek. Arms come along the sides of the body, palms face up. Bring your big toes to touch, but let the heels fall away from one another. And on your next exhale, let everything go onto your mat. Maybe the eyes slowly close as we start to wind down our practice. And slowly turn your head to the opposite side. Now bring your chin to the mat. And for the final time, press yourself into your chosen rest position and take a few rounds of breath there, whether it's puppy or child's pose. Slowly make your way to a comfortable seated position facing the front of your mat. I'm going to give everyone a second. Take your time. Make sure you're sitting in the center of your mat if you're not there already. Then extend both legs out in front of you with the feet flexed. Lift both arms overhead, drop chin to chest, and start to round the spine into rounded back stretch, placing hands to the knees, thumbs on the inside, and elbows facing out to the long edges of the mat. Melt the shoulders away from the ears and take nice deep breaths. Drawing your breath to the space you feel the most sensation. Helping the muscles find some ease. Slowly start to lengthen the spine and place hands on either sides of your hips into staff pose, finding length out through the crown of your head before relaxing to a neutral position. Bend the knees so both feet are on the mat. Before we move into Navasana, I'm going to give you guys a few options depending on how tired you are. So option 1 will be easier and then we'll work our way up from there. Option 1 is to place your hands on the back of your thighs, Lengthen the spine and send your chest forward into your thighs. Lift up to the tippy toes and walk the toes in close to the body and hold here, relaxing shoulders away from the ears. You're engaging your core, even if you don't feel it right away. Option 2 is to start in the same position, then lift the feet off the mat, heels in line with the knees. Chest is wide, chest is lifted, and we're on our sits bones, not our tailbone. Holding here. Option 3 is to lift the arms out at your sides, even harder, so you don't have the support holding onto your legs, and you're asking your core to do a little more. We're gonna hold for about another 15 seconds here. If you're tired, take a break and then hop right back in. Don't hold your breath in whatever position that you're in. We're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So release, bring your hands down, walk the feet out. If your hands are not already on the back of your thighs, place them there and slowly roll down until you're flat on your back. Legs are straight, arms are out at your sides, palms face up. Take a beat here, focus on the breath. Draw the right knee into your chest for wind relieving posture, interlacing the fingers, holding a few inches below the knee, flexing the feet and drawing right thigh close to body. As you inhale, fill the belly like a balloon, and as you exhale, press the thigh closer to the body if you can. If you're feeling any discomfort on the knee, hold on to the back of the thigh instead. Leg that is extended on the mat is also engaged. Gently release your right leg, returning it to the mat. Left knee draws into the chest. Same thing, we're interlacing the fingers, holding below the knee or on the back of the thigh, flexing the feet. Inhaling, belly fills like a balloon, and as we exhale, pressing thigh closer to body. Release your hold, returning leg to the mat. Then draw both knees in towards the chest, feet side by side, holding below the knees or on the backs of the thighs. Low back is flat to the mat. And take a few breaths here. If you like to find a little bit of movement in your poses, you can gently rock side to side here, helping to massage the muscles on the back side of the body. If you did find movement, just settle into stillness. And we'll all release our arms to the floor out at shoulder height, palms face up to the ceiling. Let the knees fall to the right into recline spinal twist, and head gently turns to the left. If you're feeling any pinching in your spine, lower the knees away from the hands. Just bring some ease to the pose. And since this is our last pose before our final resting pose, I always suggest to close the eyes at this time. At the end of the practice, we turn the focus inward. So we're just sort of preparing for that by closing the eyes ahead of time and focusing on the breath. Relaxing the muscles around the brow. Draw knees back to center, let them fall over to the left, and head turns to the right. Slowly draw the knees back to the center of the chest, holding below the knees or on the back of the thighs. Lift your head to meet your knees. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold it at the top. Squeeze the body nice and tight. Muscles in your face, your toes, your hands, everything. And as you exhale out through the mouth, let the body go so that you can lay flat on the mat. Spread your legs and arms nice and wide. Take up space. Let the toes fall out. Palms face up and eyes closed. Take another deep breath in through the nose, and as you exhale out through the mouth, let everything go onto the mat. And we'll finish up here with our final rest period. Attention comes back to the breath, following every rise and fall of your chest. Allowing whatever thoughts to come and go as they please. As you're breathing in, drawing in this life force, I just want you to recognize that everything that you deserve is making its way to you. Slowly start to deepen the breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Welcome movement back to your body. And gently roll over to the right side of your body and take a moment of stillness on your side. Keeping your eyes closed or your gaze lowered to the floor, slowly press yourself up into any comfortable seated position. And don't feel rushed, I'm just gonna continue talking. As always, to finish class, we'll take 3 cleansing breaths together as one. That's breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're gonna take a 3-part breath today. So we break the inhale into 3 parts, filling belly, ribs, and chest. We break the exhale into 3 parts, chest, ribs, and belly. So we'll all start on an exhale, releasing all the breath you have out of the body. Start to breathe in through the nose, filling belly first, filling ribs, filling chest, exhaling out through the mouth from the chest, from the ribs, and from the belly. Breathing into the belly for 2, into ribs, chest, exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Last time, filling up the belly, filling up the ribs, filling the chest, and slowly exhaling from chest, slowly releasing the ribs, and finally the belly. Take a second to thank yourself for taking time out of your day for yourself, for this class. I'd like to thank you as well for letting me lead you today. There is a light that exists within me that honors and respects the light that exists within each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the class. I hope you felt tired through the class. That is my goal. Let me know how you felt. If you have questions, comments, concerns. A new version of this class is aired every Wednesday at 8 a.m. If you're looking for something a little easier on the body, I also teach a Vinyasa yoga class. It's structured much like this class. However, I take out the core work and throw in some different things. And that class is aired every Monday at 8 a.m. I hope to see you guys next time and enjoy the rest of your week.